What's the great thing about going to a gay bar? If a guy does hit on me, he can comfort himself with, she's probably just gay, that's why she wasn't interested in me. In the case of the guy who sat down next to me last night, as usual, I plopped myself in the front. I used to do the same thing if I could at Spotlight Bar in Hollywood, and even at the local karaoke bar I went to, around where I lived with Donald and Hope. After Donald and I were broken up, of course. I didn't enjoy myself. It was no Spotlight Bar, and to say the least. I used to go to Spotlight Bar. It wasn't just the same people getting up and singing, and the ones who did sing, they were incredible. They were really, really good. But the whole point of karaoke is lets people, even if you're not good at all, you just get up there and you have fun or whatever. But I don't have fun being there by myself and hearing people butcher songs, so, and since I was only there to listen to songs and no other reason, listen to people sing, So between the hotel and taking taxis to the club and yada yada whatever, I'm out and buying 2 pints of vodka yesterday. Because obviously when I drank the 1 pint of vodka during the day, I had planned to go back to the shelter, And then if I'm going to go out, I don't know. I always drink ahead of time, because it's cheaper. And I didn't even enjoy myself. At all. I don't know why I invited that woman to come along. That was me talking when I was, I don't know. I had been drinking. I wasn't drunk, but because I'd been drinking all day. You drink all day. I wasn't drunk because it had been spread out, but I just didn't, I don't know. It was a whim to go out, and it backfired, and it backfired simply because I didn't enjoy myself, but spent a lot of money, Oh well, I'm just, I won't back down, in regards to this Cheryl and Mary thing, I don't care. I don't care if either of them just think, well, it's not our problem, that it is your problem. You have a moral obligation, And Cheryl was cold to me. She was cold. You have a moral obligation. You have to put yourself in my shoes. I didn't do anything wrong. I not only did anything wrong, I didn't even leave my mother in her time of need. I got her the help she needed, and now Marianne gets to blame me for everything because the 2 witnesses don't care. I just want to die. two people who know the truth couldn't be bothered. Couldn't be bothered even to, and they would have had every right to say it. I mean, come on, they're meeting with Marion. It couldn't come up. How did Samantha wind up in the hospital? Well, you know, she was doing this and that, and at first, and Laura was there, and she, because, you know, but no, it didn't come up. My name wasn't even brought up, like I didn't even exist. And it is a big fucking deal, because Marion's using this to, you know, just like my caseworker called up her daughter Laura. She said it. Because remember, this caseworker's known me since 2009 and couldn't stand Marion back then, okay? Now she's just appalled. She's just, my caseworker's just like, oh my God, she called up her daughter. The aunt is making the daughter out to be the crazy one, when it's the mother who has suffered from severe mental illness for the past 35 years. But do you understand, if I didn't have any witnesses, it really would be, I would have no proof, okay? I would have no proof. My mom can't remember shit. And that fact alone, that she cannot remember shit even before those 8 days, she can't remember the weeks prior, she can have a relapse so easily, you know? And she's talking big again. You know, I don't know how to describe it to anyone who I really think that this woman in the shelter understands, but I don't think she's going to be able to do anything. I think she does understand. I think she gets it, where I'm coming from. It's like even in the eyes of, I mean, and Cheryl's like, after everything I did for you, yeah, but to a point, Cheryl, it's easy for you to, I mean, you gave me your time and I appreciate it and whatnot. And when you met with my mother's social worker in the hospital, you did when Marion wasn't around, but when push came to shove, when you know that my mother, right before she got sick, was in the process, she was actually finally telling people about everything. And that's what those notes said. Marion doesn't say what the notes say. She just smears my name. I left crazy notes. So we got that, if you're wondering why I'm just, you know, we got that, and then we got what happened with Bobby, who was my friend, you know, because I'm like in dire need. If I wasn't in dire need, I would still care that Marion was smearing my name, of course, but I wouldn't be so desperate, you know what I mean? I told you I have to walk around in that shelter with my stuff. I have to leave every day. I have a bad back, you know, and I do feel it in my legs and back. Remember, it took a long time last time, but no one's responding to my roommate ad, you know. I don't know what to do anymore. My therapist, well, why can't you let it go? Because it's gone on far enough. Because at least in the past there were grains of truth to what Marion was saying, you know what I mean? Yeah, I did hang up those notes, but they were all geared, if you watch my videos, they were all geared towards trying to put a little bit of fear in Marion. My mom, the cat's out of the bag, Marion. I know that you told my mom to hide all the amount of that money from me, you know. And then I said other stuff, you know, I have a copy of the power of attorney that you got in a duplicitous way over my mother, that your husband drew up and your two sons signed as witness. It said all this crap, and she's not. Why would it concern her? Because she's the one with the notes, and all she does is show pictures of you can't read what they say. You get it? And she doesn't know about this. So for all she knows, there is no proof of that. She can say those notes said anything. All she's telling people, I know what she does. She touts herself, I'm so good to Samantha, you know, and her daughter's just a fucking, she just, you know, she wants control over Samantha's money so she could bleed her dry, just like in 2009 she did, you know, or 2007 and 8, whatever, 8 and 9, you know. I know what Marion's doing. And I can't take it. And then I have to listen to my therapist. Well, why can't you let it go? Because It's just been going on and on and on. And I'm sure it's just, I remember I'm writing all this stuff down for my new friend, okay? Or, my new whatever, I don't understand. I asked her outright, you don't even know me, why are you helping me? Because you're a good person. How do you know I'm a good person? Maybe I'm a horrible person. I'm sure Cheryl thought I was a horrible person the other day when I screamed at her. But she was acting cold towards me. You remember, you don't know what's going on the other end. I thought she would care. I thought she would just go, I don't care. But I don't even know Marion. Okay, now, but you were face to face with her for quite a while in that hospital. They didn't stay for 10 minutes, guys. They stayed for quite a while. I know they did because I asked Cheryl how long they were there. And it never comes up. It never comes up. They act as if it was Marion who got my mom sectioned or went through hell with her for all, but Marion wouldn't have gone through hell because remember, if it was me blown off, because remember my mother, I can't take it, I just want to fucking die. My mother was my mother was telling her friends while she was, she just yelled at me for no reason and this, that, whatever, and then my psychologist says I'm not crazy. My psychologist says you shouldn't yell at me. They don't know. They don't know. It's just like I told my therapist, what do you expect to get out of therapy? She says, they always ask that. I don't fucking know. I don't even want to be here anymore, I told my therapist about my mom tried the first time ever and the only time. She never did since, she never did it before, but it was because in her madness, I had been fueling her anger as just like her husband, her crazy husband had been fueling her anger. I've been yelling at her about him, and it wasn't her fault. So in her madness, she turned to me for the first time ever. But when I was telling my therapist that, I'm like, to add insult to injury, I've just been through trauma. My mother tried to harm me. I had to run away from my own mother, who would turn into something other than human. And I go to my aunt and cousins, reaching out and to let them know, and they got mad at me. Oh, your mother would never hurt you. Your mother loves you. I can't take it anymore. I can't, and you think it's not all tied in, it is. It's almost like, I had just been through that trauma and my trauma was negated. They got mad at me. My therapist was like, well, they couldn't deal with it or they couldn't, they can't comprehend it. They don't know. They don't know. Just like Marion's never lived with you know what I mean? They don't know. Those 8 days of hell were compounded by the fact I eavesdropped on my mother talking to her friends, and I would believe my mother. She sounds so convincing. The police and her social psychologist thought I was just a little girl tattling on my mother because they don't realize how smart I am, that I've been dealing with this forever, that I know the signs, that I knew my mother was bad, and that's why she got worse and worse and worse, okay? But I remember I was not going to call, I would have let her kill me or something before I would call the police again after I was blown off and said, can you guys, this is what the police said to me, can you guys just learn to get along? Oh, fuck you. And then the same police came 8 days later and I said, they're like, we're here to take your mother away, can you help her with her underwear? I said, you should have taken her away 8 days ago. No, don't be, what'd they say? Whatever they said, don't be snide or don't, fuck you. But it's not even their fault, it's her psychologist's fault. Because he listens to her just say, I'm fine and everything's fine, and Laura yells at me and you don't know what I'm going through with her. You get it? He listens to her and she parrots it back to me. Okay? And now Marion gets away with keeping me out of my mother's home when she wants me there. She wants me there. No, we don't want to live together forever, but I'm in dire need. I got fucked over royally when I didn't do anything wrong. But, I don't. I want to go, I mean, this is just some fantasy land, go out. With people who know I want to die, but who can make you feel better, who also know that I might want to die, but I like to, enjoy myself and escape and just not be alone. I guess that's why I just, for the hell of it, even though I knew she wouldn't, I didn't even hear back from her. But I'm glad she didn't take me up on my offer. It wouldn't have been any more enjoyable with her there, because the singers were horrible. Sorry, they were. There was not one good singer last night. And the same horrible singers kept getting up and singing more songs. And it's not their fault, they're horrible singers. It's just, I wanted entertainment. I was guaranteed, and there was maybe a couple or so horrible singers, but for the most part I was guaranteed to have a fantastic time whenever I went to Spotlight Park on karaoke night. So, yeah, well. Oh, well. I did it. It's over with. I won't do it again. I can't be doing this anyway. I can't be spending that much money in one sitting, But I did it, and I know why I did it. I cannot allow myself. I can't get my hopes up. This woman can see through Marion to 100%, just like I do. It doesn't mean any of her lawyer friends will listen or care, or they might care, but they might not see what she sees. I know she sees. I know she does. She saw instantly. I don't know why she wants to help me. Nowadays, people you don't just don't go around wanting to help you for no reason and get nothing out of it, But I have to deal with, too. My mom's like, well, remember, before Jessica died, and it took her 1.5 years to die, and why I don't want her to die. My mom's like, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to upset the family. I'm not going to talk about anything or do anything, Lauren. You need to forgive it, blah, 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 whatever, as long as so-and-so is alive. And then she dies, but it took 1.5 years, remember, for her. She hung on and hung on and hung on. And then my mother winds up in the hospital, but only briefly, a couple weeks. But this time, 3.5 months, I didn't think she was ever going to get out. I didn't think she was going to get out. And the fact is, she was showing signs of dementia. But who said to me, maybe it was but then again, it could have been a urinary tract infection that was mimicking. But they didn't even test her for urinary tract. She had one like a month or so into, that was when she was moved. And then again, I don't know where she is, and nobody will tell me, Unbelievable. Mary, I don't have a release for you. I can't tell you where your mother is. Fuck you. Fuck all of them. Fuck all of them. Seriously, even Cheryl. After everything I did for you, yeah. But you were face to face with Marion. You knew she was going around telling everyone that I destroyed my mother's house. You had a moral obligation. You were married together to I want to fucking die. I stayed. But I wanted to leave, and I get to be blamed now, and I'm not supposed to care. I'm supposed to be able to let it go, move forward, and just not care. And Marion and that woman in the office are in cahoots. And my mother will let me stay with her, but only on the sly, where every time I turn around I have to worry. Well, she says it to me, someone might see you. What if the woman she sees you, or blah, 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 and I have to leave early and go, it's just not worth it. It makes me ill every day. So yeah, I got drunk. I still have more booze left. Probably drink today. Why not? Why not? I feel totally hopeless. Totally. That woman in the shelter says, you're not helpless. Yeah. Life circumstances have repeatedly shown me otherwise when it comes to this. Now remember, I did win. I won against Donald. The judge saw through his bullshit. His mom came to court. He came to court. He was all disheveled. They gave me the restraining order. And remember, it's not that I really needed that restrainer. It's not that I thought he would hurt me. It's to make a stand. It's to say, look, you can't. You know what I mean? I mean, he wasn't going to come after me, and then I was, you know. But it's just the principle of the thing. The judge gave me the restraining order regardless, you know. And it showed Donald, didn't it? And it probably fucked up his political aspirations or whatnot, you know, small scale political things. But he deserved it. So I did win against him. But it's impossible to win against Marion. Even my mother's stupid friend, you know, she said it outright when I was back in the shelter in 2000. She's like, you can't fight Marion. She's powerful. She's powerful, Laura. She'll bring you to your knees. She'll just cry and say, all I want to do is help my sister and his daughter's treatment, you know, and she'll cry. But the friend would be a witness in court. She's like, your mother is terrified of Marion putting her back in the hospital at all times. She's terrified. I'm like, I know that. And now that same friend turned against me. She knew where my mother was. She didn't tell me, she said. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because I needed, even if I call the main hospital number, I need the actual patient line, you know. And the friend said, well, but she knew, but she pretended, I think she's, I don't know, maybe she's in Timbuktu, or maybe she's in whatever. One of them was where my mom was, but it wouldn't have mattered. And I didn't find that out till a couple weeks, you know, till I found that thing with her friend, you know, that whole deal. But I said, you used to hate Marion. Oh, that was before her sister died. See, Marion has everybody. And now she's blowing my mother off over things that just require phone calls. You can't take every penny away from my mother where she's not allowed to do things like have her checkbook at all, and then blow her off when she needs things like the lawn done or the rugs done or whatever. You can't have it both ways, Marion. You know, but Marion can because nobody cares. I found my Yahoo answers some of it anyway. I didn't look for, but I have that too. I have the letter that the woman in the office wrote to my mother in 2012 stating if I came to her property, my mom believed. I told her they fuck with my mom's head. She had given permission and then she reneged on it, and we wouldn't want your daughter to be arrested. You know, if your daughter comes there, she'll be arrested. On what grounds? On what grounds? It didn't matter. I could talk to my mother over the phone till I'm at the airport in shock. Talk to my mother. You're going to the shelter. There's been a change of plans. You should have called me first. I would have told you not to come. That's why I didn't call, Mom. I always have to be one step ahead of you. And my mom lied and said that my friend Joe had sent me the money. See how... I know you see it, what's going on here. My mom says one thing to the family, one thing to me. She even lied about the fact that she paid completely for me to fly here in 2012. She told me she would stand up to them. You're my daughter, and I'm going to let you yeah, bullshit. She cowers. Because I'm saying now, she's saying, I'm going to get a lawyer. Yeah, sure you are, Mom. The minute you do that, you think Marion's going to sit back and let you? Well, she doesn't be bothered anyway. Mom, she's still not going to, no, she's going to fight it. She just knows she has you where she wants you, that's all. if you try to get rid of dissolve the power of attorney, she's gonna fight it. You know, well, I don't care. My lawyer will send her a letter, yeah, and she'll make you cower, just like I've seen her do in the past, Mom. And she could even, and whenever my mother gets upset, remember she has such a history that Marion snaps her fingers and my mom's sectioned again, because if my mom shows any agitation, even if she's not sick again, if she shows agitation, Marion can use that to say, you know, get the police over, and they already know she has a history. And remember, they didn't listen to me because I'm nothing. They called my mom's psychologist. He said, oh, that's just the daughter, and she yells. You know what I mean? The psychologist listens to everything my mother says. And my mom doesn't tell the truth. And that's the bottom line. And the psychologist knows that I'm on psych disability. I was blown off completely blown off. And I stayed when I didn't want to. And then because I thought, I'm finally getting away, finally getting to tell Mary, and the cat's out of the bag. I never have to feel her fucking phony hug around me again. Nothing. And look what she was able to do to me. I'll end with that. Look what she was once again able to do to me. Even despite I have witnesses, and it doesn't matter. Of course, I'm in the twilight zone. I have witnesses, and it doesn't matter. Even in regards to the notes, I have witnesses for the reasons why I hung up those notes, why I finally told Marion off. My mom had been telling me stuff that, you know what I mean, and the cat's out of the bag. I hate you guys, and you know it now, and there's never going to be any. You wrapping your arms around me like you did me, you know. And look what she was able to do to me. She's laughing all the way, you know. The guy my mom met in the nut house got my hopes up, and nothing came of it. He has his own problems, he has kids, he has life, and nothing came of it. See? You think I'm gonna get my hopes up now in regards to this woman? No fucking way. No way. No way. And it's not her fault. I don't believe for a second any lawyers are going to take this pro bono. But I'm not putting my videos on private, heavyweight. I'm not putting my videos on private. I'm not doing it. This is all I have now. I'm barely hanging on. I am not putting my videos on private. And it would come out anyway. I'm not going to put my videos on private. Okay? Everything I've said about Marion and her family and what is true, I'm not putting my videos on private. I refuse to. Put my videos on private. My videos prove that I didn't destroy my mother's house. They at least prove it, you know, to a point. I mean, because I was crying to Cheryl every day and emailing my certain friends like Joe and the dog woman and my mom's, you know, the nut house guy. And, you know, I was telling them what my mother was doing in detail. I forwarded this all to this woman. So as of yesterday, she hadn't even watched any of my videos. It's not easier for her to watch them. She might not even watch them. She asked. She's got the links. If she watches them, it's, you know, she can only watch a couple or so anyway, you know, there's too many. But I'm not putting my videos on private. Fuck that. I'm not. I always, if Marion, if I take her to, you know, if we do go to court or whatnot, it's all gonna come out, okay? I'm not putting my videos on private. Remember, she knows that I went crazy and believed Chuck Crook was in love with me. She knows all this crap, okay? And she was, you know, labeling, you're nuttier than a fruitcake, you're more mentally ill than you. She was saying that to me in 2009 before I'd ever been officially diagnosed with anything. Now I'm diagnosed, I don't know with what. With what am I diagnosed with? I don't know. My friend asked, the shell woman still asked me, I don't know. I don't know. She's like, well, maybe you're not even, maybe it's just all this crap. Yeah, I'm definitely PTSD, but who knows? Who cares, you know? All I know is I visited Joe and I was fairly normal. Because I was around normalcy. You've given me calmness and normalcy. I could be in an intellectual conversation. was getting really drunk last night. I wasn't in a good mood. I periodically fixate on certain things, even though there's a lot of bad things that happen in the world. And my latest thing to fixate on is that father who left his 2-year-old to boil up in the car all day. And even my mom asked, like I said in the other video, Marion just makes my mom out to be like mentally challenged. Yes, she has mental problems, but she's not just oblivious. She's not a child. She brought it up first. She's like, well, she brought it up and then got me thinking, the kid wasn't a baby. Almost 2 years old. He could talk. He could scream. Why didn't anybody see him in the goddamn car? The hot car, I don't understand. Why didn't anybody see him strapped in there? The whole day goes by and nobody sees him. He's boiling up alive. He's got to be screaming. And I wasn't even thinking about that, because I think at first I thought he was a baby. He's not. He's the most adorable little toddler. And I asked on the bus because I wanted someone to tell me, like, why wouldn't anybody have heard him? They don't acknowledge that in there. Why? Nobody noticed him for all those hours, boiling up and alive in the car? Or maybe it didn't take that long for him to die. I don't know, but my mom brought that to my attention. How come nobody saw him, Laura? How come, and Marion makes my mom out to be just, Marion gets away with everything. Even that goddamn fraud, declaring as fraud, my mom had this credit card she'd made purchases in person. You can't call up the credit card company and declare those as fraud. But Marion can, because Marion's arrogant and she knows she gets away with everything. She did it. I have the proof right over there. She gets away with everything. She never is. Again, my mom's like, well, can't you just let me do this? I talked to Cheryl and Mary, I'm going to get a lawyer, and I said, Mom, then Mary's going to, but come over and scream and yell, and you'd have to I'm not going to get a restraining order, and I don't want to. And I said, if you're going to do this, you've got to accuse her of elder abuse. I don't want to accuse her of elder abuse, If you don't accuse her of elder abuse, she's just going to, you can't handle your own money, Mom. They're not going to let you. You just spent 3.5 months in the, Mel, yeah, I can handle my own money. I'll just have Marion be my payee, but not have the power of attorney. Mom, if you dissolve that power of attorney, Marion's not going to be your payee. She probably don't have nothing to do with you. And she's going to make you feel guilty, and then I'll hear it, and then I said, but you're not even strong, and I know I have to wait. Can you wait too? No, I'm not waiting. I am not waiting. If this woman can get her lawyer friend, one of them or whatever, to listen, and she says she'll come with me, I'm not waiting. I just have no faith that this is ever going to change. And even if it did change, like I bluntly told this woman, the damage is done. It wouldn't even matter. The damage is done. I'm a fucking mess. The damage is done. I don't want to be here anymore. I really don't. You can be, if you're mean or sarcastic, well, why don't you kill yourself then? I don't know. I told you guys 1,000,000 times over, I've never had it in me to do that. And I've been obsessed with other people who do have it in them and do commit suicide all the time. I don't know. I don't know why I don't do it. No. I only know that I want to. I only know that I want to.